What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Khalid, back with another video. And today on the topic we're going to talk about is how to develop size, how to develop muscle size. So I get asked this question a lot because I'm a pretty fair, decent, big looking guy. And a lot of people in the gym, they always have these questions on how do I develop my arms, my chest, my legs, my shoulders, my back. How do I have to train in order to be able to develop bigger muscles? So it's very simple, and it's not as hard as everybody think it is. It just requires a whole lot of hard work and discipline along with your diet. So we're going to start off what you should be doing: hypertrophy training. If you don't know what hypertrophy training is, it's basically volume training. So it's basically doing a lot of sets, a lot of reps, and also just pushing yourself to that failure point and where you want to totally annihilate the muscle, basically. Take it to a point where you know that it's close to failure. This is how I've always trained. I've trained like this from the beginning. I always take it to a point where I know I couldn't do another one, or I maybe had one or two left in the tank and I couldn't do any more. So that's how you should be training with hypertrophy training / volume training. You should always remember that when you come into the gym that you have a blueprint of what it is you're trying to do. So if you're trying to develop size, if you're trying to develop strength, if you're just trying to look like a bodybuilder, and not actually be one, there's certain ways to train, as well as being a power lifter or a CrossFitter. There's all these different ways of training to become those things. And the training is very different for every different one. So you have to figure out what it is that you are trying to do when you go into the gym. If you're training chest, you should have at least maybe 4 to 5 different exercises. This is just what I do. This is what a lot of other people do as well. But you should have at least 4 to 5 exercises in mind. And you should always keep your reps between 10 to 15 reps. And if you want to go higher, you can go from 15 to 20. Now, that's what I do. I keep it around 15 to 20 reps when I train. So if I'm doing a bench press, I'll go to my top weight. I'll hit my top weight for as much as possible. And then I'll go down to a working set, which is sort of similar to powerlifting in a way, but not really, because the volume, the hypertrophy training. So when I go down to my working set is usually between 10 to 15 reps on a bench press. If I'm doing, 315 on a bench for 10 to 15 reps, or if I'm going down to 225 or 275 for a working set of 10 to 15 reps, and I stay there for about 3 to 4 sets. Okay. When I am done from there, usually I like to do a last set where I'll take it down to 135, just one plate on each side. And I would just do one set to failure, or at least, maybe 2 to 3 reps close to failure. So 135, I'll probably pump it out for like 50, 60 reps, get a nice good burn, and then I'll stop from there. And then you move on to dumbbells. And I love dumbbells because dumbbells, to me, it's an isolation movement. It's good for each individual side. If you're lacking on your left side or if you're lacking on your right side, it can definitely help with bench if you're trying to get stronger. So I like to go in and do incline dumbbells. And for me, understand that my level of fitness is going to be different from yours, okay? So for me, I will start with 80 and I will go and do 12 reps with 80. Then I will go to 100 and do 12 reps with that. Once I go up to my highest set will be 120s. Usually I love to go up to 120s. I can go higher, but this is not about strength. We're talking about developing and building big muscles, right? Because of hypertrophy training, volume training. So I would go up to 120s, which is my top set, and I would literally hit that between 15 to 20 reps, and I would try to do that for 2 to 3 sets. And then I would drop down to 100s, and I would try to do between 10 to 15 reps for about 2 to 3 more sets. Okay, that's what I do. Next, I will go into doing cables. I love to hit upper on cables, mid, and I like to hit lower. So what I would do is I would do 4 sets of each. 4 sets top, 4 sets mid, 4 sets bottom. And I will keep it between 15 to 20 reps, okay? Now, note at the same time, when you're doing this, you should always know in certain exercises to either increase weight, which is progressive overload, to either increase the weight or to keep it the same. Now, when it comes to certain things like bench, if it's a working set, I keep it at the same. I don't add weight or anything, because if I had a top set already, then I don't need to go up. My working set stays the same. The same with dumbbells. I go up to my top set. I'll stay there for maybe 2 to 3 sets, like I said, with the 120s, and then I'll drop it down to 100s, and I'll do another 2 to 3 sets with that as well. But when you go to cables, because cables is a different workout, what you want to do is you want to increase you want to increase the weight with each set. So for instance, if I'm doing, let's say I'm doing cable flies and I'm at 50 pounds on it, right? That's 25 each side. Next, I will go to 60. Okay. And then my third set, I maybe go to 70, and I might stay there. Okay. Because if that feels heavy and good enough for me to still pump out the same amount of reps, but it's a little bit more challenging, I would stay there. Or if I'm feeling really good that day, I had enough carbs, I had sleep, I'm feeling great, then I will go up to 80, and that will be my top, and that will be it. Do that 4 sets, like I said, 4 sets of 15, and as each set that you're doing, you're increasing the weight by 5 to 10 pounds. Okay, and then I would do the same thing for when I'm doing mid, or if I'm doing lower. So once I finish there, then I would probably do like a hammer strength machine for lower pecs, and we do the same thing. You keep the same concept. So usually I would go up to 3 plates on a hammer strength machine. So I would do, my first set will be about 15 reps. My second set will be about 15, and then I would try to do between 12 to 15 on my third, and I would stay there for about 2 sets. So I would try to do 2 sets at my top with 3 plates on the hammer strength for about 15 reps. Then I would drop it to 2, and I would go down and I would go down the weight, drop 2 plates, and I would try to do another 2 sets of like 15 to 20. So as you can see, what I'm telling you is the volume. It's high volume. It's between 15, 20 reps, always keeping it high volume. Okay. And if you want to do extra credit at the end, you can do another set and try to do a burnout. Sometimes I do that as well, but I don't want to be on one machine for too long. So sometimes that's what I do. Which is another great technique that you can do is pyramid sets. I love doing pyramids. Pyramids is basically where you will either start at your lightest weight going up to your heaviest weight, or your heaviest weight going down to your lightest weight. And you pick a set of reps. So for me, I will usually do 10s. That's good for me. I will say my heaviest weight at 10, then I will go lighter for 10, lighter for 10, lighter for 10, and I would do 5 sets. So altogether, that's about 50 reps. And again, that is just hypertrophy. That is just volume training. So if you're trying to develop the muscle, you have to remember that it's hypertrophy and that it's volume. It's not about how much you're lifting. Yes, you want to increase the weight by a little bit, but you're not trying to do a max. You're not trying to go in PR. You're not trying to do so much of heavy weight where you're only getting about 5 reps. No, what you want to try to do is always go to the heaviest weight where you can try to at least get between 10 to 15 reps in. Hypertrophy training, guys. So if you're trying to develop bigger muscles, you need to make sure that you are doing volume training, hypertrophy. Hit those reps. Try to hit between 12, 15, even 20. Okay? That's what you want to try to go for. Now, when it comes to that, you also have to mind your diet as well, making sure that you are keeping high protein. So remember, 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So if you're 200 pounds, try and get 200 pounds a day of protein, or if you can, a little bit higher, maybe 220. You don't need to go, above and beyond and do 250 to 300 grams. You don't need to do that much. I would say the most you can try to get in if you're 200 pounds is try to get 220 grams of protein. Okay. But 200 is fine. If you can try to get 200 in, that is fine. And you want to try to keep it like that. You need to be disciplined in trying to get that in every day, getting your protein in, and also remembering to train intense in hypertrophy and volume training. Okay. That is the way to do it. That is how I did it. That is how many of the legends have done it. It is volume, guys, volume training. It is not about how heavy. That's another video we'll work on when we're talking about strength, because working on strength is different than training for size. Okay, so this is a very simple video I made. I hope you guys could take something from this and add it into your training. And always to remember that, like Coach Greg said, you always want to try to work harder than last time. Okay, always try to challenge and push yourself when you're in the gym. Okay, that's what I do every time I'm in the gym. I try to find ways, even if I'm not going as heavy today, like if I'm not feeling too good and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not feeling too good to go heavy. Well, I make challenges for myself with lighter weight to try to still make my workout intense. Those are the things you should be doing. That is how you get size. That is how you develop strength as well, but not powerlifting, you know, because there's two different things. Okay, when we're talking about real strength, when we're talking about powerlifting strength, you know, you want to be able to bench 500 pounds one day. Well, this type of hypertrophy training is not the way to do it to be able to bench 500. Okay, now you will get stronger, but you're not going to get powerlifting stronger. Okay, so that's the difference. So train hypertrophy, make sure your diet is on point, and making sure that you are keeping it high volume. Okay, high volume training, hypertrophy. That should conclude this video, guys. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you hit the notification button and write a comment, man. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys train in the gym. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.